Yo, today we'll be looking at the 1956 Toho Classic Rodan, or as they call it in Japan, Sora no Daikaiju Radan Lit, which roughly translates to Giant Monster of the Sky Rodan. Now, Rodan's original name in Japan was Radon, however that was changed for the American release as Radon is an element on the periodic table. It is, for some reason though, called Radon in some English dubs still. It's weird. Rodan was Toho's first tokusatsu movie made in color. What does tokusatsu mean? Well, it's big rubber monster fight movies and TV shows. Picture stuff like Godzilla and Power Rangers. There's a lot more nuance to it, but that's the basic gist. The version of the movie that we'll be looking at today is from the Toho Master Collection, which is the version of Godzilla Raids Again that I used. For whatever reason, it was packaged along with War of the Gargantuas as a double feature, even though War of the Gargantuas is a sequel to Frankenstein vs. Baragon. I have no idea why this was packaged with Rodan. If anything, I feel like Rodan could have been sold on its own and done fine. War of the Gargantuas is the weird one. I feel like it should have been sold as part of a double feature with Frankenstein vs. Baragon, if anything, because, you know, people love double features. I don't understand the logic, but, I mean, it's cool that we have this. The movie was directed by Ishiro Honda, who directed the original Godzilla, and the music was done by Akira Ifukube, who did all the music for the original Godzilla as well. It's a really nice mix of classic 50s sci-fi music and kaiju movie music that I really quite enjoy. The movie was also co-written by Takeo Murata, who also co-wrote the original Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. Now let's review this fucker. The film opens with what else but credits and a scream, this time from Rodan. It cuts to miners at their job in the mine. Man, these mine sets are amazing. Very large and well detailed. As IGN once said, it actually feels like you're a miner in a mine. However, there is a flood in the West Pit, so Shigeru Kawamura leads a group of people to investigate. They find one of the miners, Yoshi, lying on his face in the mine, dead. Wow, Graxx, you really got your work cut out for you this time, don't ya? We're getting right into those kills right away. Yoshi's death was not an accident, however, as a slash to the head was the cause of death according to the coroner. And some say it may be another employee, Goro, who did it. Apparently, the two had gotten into a fight earlier. Anyway, Shigeru doesn't think that Goro could do such a thing. 3 more people go to investigate to search for Goro, and 2 get got. I think one of the police officers is suit actor Haru Nakajima in a cameo, but I can't be sure. Nakajima, of course, played Godzilla in the Showa era of Godzilla movies, as well as Rodan in this film. The third guy runs away and tries to call for help on a phone, but before he can, he gets attacked by what must be the baby bird, Rodan. Shigeru meets up with his fiancée Kyo, who's Goro's brother. He comforts her since the whole town is after her brother. But just then, that baby bird comes in. What the fuck is that? That is not a bird. That is not a fucking bird. Abort mission. Abort mission. What the fuck is that thing? Yeah, it's a clever misdirection with you assuming it's, you know, the titular Rodan on the cover, or as I assumed, the baby version of Rodan, but no, there's actually a secondary villain in this movie called the Mega Nulons, these bug fucks. Shigeru and Kyo go get help to kill the bug fuck, and chase it over the mountain with a whole fucking armada, holy crap. After getting shot at, it grabs 2 dudes and falls from the mountain along with the world's worst action figure body doubles. Then what looks like Japan's entire military goes into the mine to kill the bug. Wish my local exterminator was half as serious as these guys when I had my snake infestation.
For your payment it will be your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
The snake's not even dead.
I'm sorry, prepare to be exterminated.
Well, sir, you most certainly drive a hard bargain. Which would you like first, the clothes, the boots, or the motorcycle? Oh hey look, they found Goro. Bullets don't seem to kill the Mega Nulon, so they send down a row of mine carts to take it out. The bug gets crushed and dies. The crew then goes deeper into the mine to find another bug. However, due to all the commotion, a cave-in occurs and Shigeru is trapped inside. Although that bug that was after him gets crushed and dies. So I guess there's a silver lining to everything. A group of scientists investigating come to the conclusion that that cave must have created the perfect environment for those little bastards to hatch. Speaking of those little bastards, they were played by Haru Nakajima and Katsumi Tezuka, who played Godzilla and Anguirus. The bugs would also be played by Shoichi Hirose and Tokio Okawa. All but Okawa played human roles in the movie as well. Nakajima plays that police officer from earlier, Tezuka plays a hotel manager, and Hirose plays a fighter pilot. Just then the ground starts splitting open from some kind of earthquake of some kind, and fuck, that's a cool miniature. All the miniatures in this movie are really cool, except the people. Toho, stop trying to make people. Monsters are what you're best at. Stick with that. The scientists and a reporter named Iseki go to check out the hole, and fuck, that's a good map painting. They find Shigeru spelunking around in the crater and take him to safety, but he keeps getting harassed by that one reporter. What the fuck? Imagine if I did that shit to one of my friends. Graxx, I need you to interview for the paper. Graxx, I need to interview for the paper. Graxx, I need to interview you for the paper. They bring Shigeru to town, and he has no memory of anything. Complete amnesia. The plot to any good soap opera. One of his coworkers and Kyo try to talk to him, but he just sits there in silence, not recognizing them. It's a genuinely pretty sad scene. Once again in these Toho movies, the acting is good as always. The guy who plays Shigeru would actually appear in several more movies by Ishiro Honda, as he would take a liking to the actor when working with him on this movie. There's another earthquake, and a plane going supersonic speeds is spotted by a fire pilot.
I don't think that's a plane, Graxx.
The pilot, who I think is played by Shoichi Hirose, follows the plane only to find out it's fucking Rodan. Yeah, the title creature shows up halfway through the movie and fucking explodes that pilot. All that's left is his clothes and a bloody helmet. That is shockingly violent for one of these movies. A British passenger plane has lost contact according to reports by the news, but there's no actual confirmation of anyone dying, so I'm not going to put it on the tally. Not to mention I have no idea who was even on it, and I couldn't even begin to give an accurate report. I try to be accurate with these videos by giving the most conservative numbers I can, but this is too vague even for me, and I count skeletons. Unlike you, James, at the kill count. I count it all, even if it does make my life hell. Well, anyway, a man and a woman go to a volcano to take pictures while on vacation. Oh hey look, it's Katsumi Tezuka as the hotel manager. The two go to the volcano only to get killed by Rodan. It also mentions that 3 cows were stolen again, implying that 6 have been taken so far. The work of none other than Rodan. That one dickhead reporter from earlier gets a picture from the couple's camera that managed to capture Rodan, and gives it to the scientist studying those bug fucks. Apparently there are also horses being abducted, and since the minimal plural is 2, I'll just put down 2. It cuts to Shigeru and Kyo hanging out. Shigeru is drawing pictures of mine shafts. I guess he has some memory lodged in there after all. There's a bird cage hanging near the window, and Kyo shows Shigeru the little bird's nest with some eggs in it. One of them begins to hatch, and it causes Shigeru to have a fucking war flashback to his time in the caves when he got stuck. In a Wayne's World style doodly-doo flashback, he finds bats and some more bug fucks, as well as a giant egg that hatches. What hatches from the egg? Rodan, who eats 3 more bug fucks. And all I can say is he looks like the toilet chicken from Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. The movie does a really good job at scale here. Big things feel big. Rodan has the only effect that looks hokey sometimes. You can tell the budget was really stretched thin with how complicated he was to puppeteer. But hey, now Shigeru remembers his fiancée at least. Shigeru then confirms to the scientist what he saw was a pteranodon. The word pteranodon is where Rodan's Japanese name comes from, Radon. Just get rid of the ter and the no from the word and you have radon. Shigeru explains to the scientist that he can take them where he was. They go back there and take a piece of the egg back for study, and determine that in the words of Blackhand Kelly, it must have come from one big chicken. The scientists then hold a meeting, and this one guy asks the dumbest fucking question humanly possible. From an egg, you dumb fuck. They believe he was awoken by nukes, much like Godzilla and Anguirus before him. They go out and find Rodan fucking shit up. He then whips a car through the fucking stratosphere, and 2 people die. Oh, you can see the dude's legs and shit. Oh, that's brutal. The military go out to kill him and lose 2 more men. They shoot down Rodan and he goes into the water. Fun fact, the guy in the suit could have died. The wires holding him snapped, but thankfully the suit was buoyant and the water was shallow enough where he could keep his head above water. Rodan then gets out of the water where you can clearly see the strings holding him. I'm sorry, but Rodan is one of the few special effects that truly just does not hold up consistently. He does take out a bridge though, so that's cool. The military comes through town and Rodan destroys a whole ass city. Hell yeah! The military tries to kill it, but as always, tanks and guns do nothing. My eyes, the goggles do nothing. Watch those motherfuckers get blown away in the wind like Hank Hill in a tornado. Just then a second Rodan comes flying in, and the military tries shooting at it, but then it leaves very quickly. Very anticlimactic. Cut to the next day, where scientists are strategizing. They believe Mount Aso is the two Rodan's nest. They fly over and find two human skeletons. This is the couple that got killed earlier. You can see the woman's pink Barbie shoe on the ground. Which now brings into question, why the hell did nobody take those bodies off to be, you know, studied? They were found dead. There's like a whole entire scene of them talking about how suspicious the bodies were. Who the fuck just leaves bodies? They were long enough to decompose into skeletons. How the fuck do you do that? What kind of fucking hack job are you running here? The city is evacuated as the military prepares to fire rockets at the mountain. That is also apparently a volcano. They then nuke the mountain, like absolutely fucking demolish it. It goes on for a little too long though. By the end it's just kind of noise. The two Rodans try to escape but get engulfed in flames. However, while one would die, the other would survive and come back in later movies. It's a weirdly somber and emotional death too, with the two monsters just screaming in pain and everyone kind of just watching in sad horror. The movie just ends on this melancholic half-victory. Like, they killed the Rodans, but at the same time, they were just animals existing. They only started to attack when man decided to wake them up with nukes, even if by accident. They were brought about by man, and just as quickly, destroyed by them as well.
And so, that was Rodan. But before I get to my final thoughts, let's get to the death. Still can't find my pointing stick, so we're going to use this can of WD-40. 13 men, 1 woman, 6 cows, 2 horses, 5 Mega Nulons, and 1 Rodan died for a total of 28 deaths. Coolest death is going to go to those guys in the car, since, you know, look at those legs! And then lamest death is going to go to Goro, because he just kind of shows up dead. Coolest monster death, since more than 1 died this go-around, will go to whichever Rodan died. Again, I don't know. Only one of them comes back in sequels, so back to review. What did I think of the movie, though? Was it good? Yes, it was very good. The first and second half are 2 different movies, though, almost. Like, completely different movies. One is a cheesy 50s B sci-fi movie, and the other is a kaiju movie. It's really weird how that worked out in the end. Overall, though, it's a good movie. The special effects, for the most part, are good, except Rodan on a couple of spots, and, of course, the human dummies. Those dummies look that great. Overall, though, I will say it was enjoyable. And again, the special effects, with the miniature work of destroying cities, as always, was great. Overall, the movie kind of reminds me of stuff like Them or The Giant Claw, but much, much better. I feel like it was a weird choice to call it Rodan, though. I feel like it should have been called something broader, like Attack of the Monsters from the Before Times or something, because Rodan implies that the whole movie is Rodan, but the first half doesn't have Rodan in it. So, you know, what's going on there? Why didn't you call it Rodan? Just call it Attack from the Monsters of the Before Times or something. I don't fucking know. For Toho's first tokusatsu movie in color, I'd say it's a winner. It's 1 hour and 22 minutes, which might seem short, but it is the perfect length for this thing. It goes by really fast. There's always something happening, always something new to evolve the story in some different way. I've seen it 3 times at this point, which is more than I watched Godzilla or Godzilla Raids Again. I only watched those things twice. And even then, for Godzilla, that was just me going back through the footage to figure out where everything needed to be edited and noticing new stuff to put in the voiceover. Gotta say, it was a lot of fun. Now, I wonder how many movies I have left until we get to the next Godzilla movie. Why is this shit structured like the MCU?